Coming your way on Golden State Warriors today. Appreciate all of you for making today's show a part of your day. Going to talk about Andrew Wiggins and some of the improvements that he wants to make and why it's just so important for the Warriors to keep him on this roster. Also, back end of the show, going to touch on Jordan Poole. ESPN predicting that he might leave the Golden State Warriors in the future in NBA free agency, but they did say this upcoming year going to get a pretty nice award. So we begin with Andrew Wiggins. He's coming off the breakout year, and throughout the regular season, especially going into the All-Star break, he was great. After the All-Star game, the first appearance at the All-Star game in his career since going number one out of Kansas, he hit a little bit of a slow spot there. And after the All-Star break, wasn't as good as he was in the first half of the year. But then in the playoffs, he turned it around. And I think because of that, he was able to use a lot of that energy on the defensive end of the floor. And then offensively, come playoff time, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, they're going to be the focal points of the offense. And Andrew Wiggins was in a comfortable position where he could kind of just be that third option, sometimes a fourth option, and sometimes on any given night, he can be the number one or two option. But in that role, I think that brings out the best in Andrew Wiggins. And in the playoffs, especially in the NBA Finals, you look at the numbers, they were really, really good. But the stats don't always show you and tell you the full story with Wiggins. Defensively, masterful work against Jayson Tatum, as we'll show in just a few moments. But regular season numbers, postseason numbers, the three-point numbers in the regular season, really good, 39%. In the playoffs, though, up the rebounds in some really critical spots. And even though the shooting numbers from deep went down a little bit, he did hit a couple of big buckets. Now, if there is a criticism for Andrew Wiggins, it is this. It's that his shot and his offensive aggressiveness does tail off and wane, but that's something that he really wants to improve upon going into this year, coming off the best year of his career, NBA championship, and that's something that he talked about with Vince Carter. He said that he wants to work on the shot as well as the aggressiveness. But Wiggins, even though his offensive game might go in these stretches in which he goes on these cold spells, he's a perfect player for how this team is built for some of the reasons that I talked a little bit about earlier. You have Steph, who's the primary ball handler. Jordan Poole has emerged in that role as well. You know what you're getting from some of the other complementary pieces on this roster. You lost some depth, but then built back on the depth with JaMychal Green, Dante DiVincenzo, and Andrew Wiggins with the starters, even playing with some of those backup players, going to be able to find a groove and fit seamlessly on this team once again. How is Wiggins looking to improve? Well, as we talked a little bit earlier, he wants to be a more consistent offensive player. And can you imagine if he locks down that shot and it is a little bit more consistent, the threat that he can be? Here's what he had to say to Vince Carter on Carter's new podcast. Shooting off the dribble. Left hand, getting that stronger ball handling, just put it all together. Just the ultimate player. I got to put it all together. And you can do it all. I did. And Andrew Wiggins has proven in moments that he can do a lot of things well. Wiggins, the complete player in terms of the skill, scoring, defense, and the consistency factor is what many envision him being when he was that number one pick coming out of Kansas. And his career, as we know, didn't really work out early in terms of living up to the expectations of being the number one overall pick. But if he can become a little bit more consistent, he becomes an even more dangerous player. Now, Wiggins has been with the Warriors in the Bay Area for the last couple of years, and his impact profound last year en route to the championship. If you're appreciative of what Wiggins has been able to bring to the Bay Area with the Warriors, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. Now, can Wiggins take that next step? Is it realistic for him to really make that leap? He thinks so, especially on the defensive end of the floor, and he's using last year as motivation. What do I mean by that? Let's allow Andrew Wiggins to explain. He said, one thing I'm really going to strive for this upcoming season is being on the NBA's all-defensive team. That's a big goal of mine, and hopefully I open some eyes in the playoffs so that I can be on the radar. Wiggins, we know this, or at least the real ones know this. If you're a real one, type real one in the comment section. Those who saw you play defense know that you're a really good defensive player. Why? How? The wizardry work that he did against Jayson Tatum in the NBA Finals. Up until the NBA Finals, Jayson Tatum was having a fantastic and historic playoff run. Now, he did set the record for the most turnovers, but the numbers fantastic when he didn't have to go up against Wiggins and the Warriors. First 3 rounds of the playoffs, Tatum, 27 points per game, 6 assists, 44.5% from the floor, nearly 38% from 3, and then more than 4 turnovers. In the NBA Finals, oftentimes with Andrew Wiggins defending him, 21.5 points per game. So you see the big drop-off. Assists went up. He had to create more. And the shooting percentage straight up tanked. 44.5% to sub 37%, and the turnover still right there at nearly 4. So a better Andrew Wiggins and a more well-rounded and consistent Andrew Wiggins this upcoming year for the Warriors. That's a scary proposition for other teams in the NBA because it makes the Warriors even deeper. Unfortunately, maybe for them moving forward, though, also makes Andrew Wiggins more expensive. Now on YouTube, we've been able to grow Warriors today to more than 44,000 subscribers, closing in on 45K, honestly. The run has been absolutely awesome. But on Rumble, we're also doing some work there too, and sometimes we put exclusive content and go live only on Rumble. That's why you got to follow us at rumble.com/WarriorsTV. And of course, 44,000 plus subs on YouTube. We're leading the way here among our Rumble NBA channels. Hop on board, join the family, rumble.com/WarriorsTV. Let's rumble now to Jordan Poole. Latest on Jordan Poole. You see what I did there? That's why you come here. That's why you subscribe. Corny? Okay. You can give it to me. Whatever. ESPN predicting that Jordan Poole will win Sixth Man of the Year this upcoming season, but also within that same article, they did say that they could envision him leaving the Warriors and NBA free agency in the future. Now, earlier this week, we did talk about Poole maybe getting pried away by the Orlando Magic, a young, budding team that could really use a good scorer. And it's understandable to see why Poole would go there to have more of a role offensively as a starter, but also, most importantly for him, probably secure the bag and get a max contract that he might not be able to get with Golden State. Now, when you have a championship team, this is the reality of the situation. You are going to get your players poached, and you are going to get your coaches taken away because other teams who are struggling, they're trying to pick up players and hire coaches that are going to help them have success like that organization that they're hiring from. That happens at the NBA level, all professional sports, but also in any type of business field in the world. Talented people often get pried away for more money to get a bigger role with a different company. That could happen with Poole. And when you win NBA championships, that's also what happens. Now, I think it'd be smart, wise for Poole to maybe come back to the Warriors because I feel as though this organization has been able to bring the best out of him. But can you knock him if he gets offered a max deal from another team and not the Warriors if he does decide to leave? I don't think you can. Can't hate on a man for securing the bag. Others receiving votes from ESPN's poll of NBA experts to win NBA Sixth Man of the Year. In addition to Jordan Poole, Malcolm Brogdon, who might not start because Marcus Smart is probably going to start at point guard for Boston, even though I really like that trade. John Wall with the Clippers. We'll see if he starts or comes in off the bench, but as of now, might be that sixth man. Tyler Hero just won it last year, and then Cam Johnson, really good 3-and-D player for the Phoenix Suns. Poole does have an advantage here. There's no doubt about that. He has experience starting games and getting a lot of reps and playing time. 51 games started last year without Klay Thompson. Then once Klay came back, Poole did go to the bench, and he figures to be in that bench role this year. Either he's going to be a bench player or a starter. It's not going to alter or affect the production, in my opinion. You look at what Poole did last year on top of what he did 2 years ago and the development that has certainly taken place. My goodness, we continue to show you this because it really is fabulous what Poole's been able to do. And this is a credit to his work ethic and him just wanting to be a better player and maximize his status as an NBA player and down the road get paid like a very good player as well. I mean, to go from 12 points per game to 18.5 points per game, yes, you're getting 11 more minutes, but still, with more opportunities, more run, more burn, more tick, however you want to categorize it, the shooting percentages went up from the field and they went up from three. That right there exemplifies putting in that work. Is Poole the best sixth man in the NBA? ESPN thinks he's going to be here in 2022-2023. What do you think? Give me a Y for yes and N for no. As always, Dub Nation, appreciate all of you for watching today's show. And if you made it this far and you haven't subscribed, do so right now.